So recently, I've been training for a little run. I've been moving my body, being a little healthy, and I've been seeing some of the craziest, and I mean craziest, not only marathons, but just like physical physical competitions and physical abuse that people are putting their body through to be able to show that they're able to move their body. And honestly, bro, this was giving me flashbacks to David Goggins' era back in 2021, where everyone and their mother wanted to be a triathlon. Everybody started to want to do something like run around the world. And now we got to the point where literally everybody seems to be wanting to run a marathon in the next year or two. You know what? I get it. I feel it. Once you graduate from college, I understand the first thing that you want to do is either shoot out a baby out of you or run a marathon. I get it. It's the endorphins. It feels nice. It's very, very accomplished. Oh my God. Oh. Please stop posting about you running a marathon and buying a house and having a child. It makes me feel very uncomfortable, but that's a whole nother, we'll have that discussion at another time, bro. So as I'm watching, everyone's starting to get into these really physical fit activities. Like there's this one, not an Ironman. Ironmans are ridiculous, but there's this one where you run a kilometer and then you run a kilometer and then you do this like rowing thing for another kilometer. And then you go and pick up these farmer carries and walk another kilometer. And then you do, what is this other thing that you do? I think it might be like a bench or you do some other physical, you do this other physical thing. And then you just keep doing it over and over and over again for, I think like 50 or something, just an egregious number. And anytime I watch any of those type of content mod thing, the first thing I think to myself is my whole stomach would poop out of my backside immediately, because there's no way I'm gonna run a mile, move my arms for a mile, do farmer walk. I remember when I used to like really lift, farmer carries used to be some of like my favorite things. But now anytime that I like pick up anytime I pick up the weights to go and do it, I'm like, bro, my back. And it's weird because of the whole point of the exercise is to fix your back. But the more that I'm watching all these more physically exhorting exercises, I lick my lips, and I realize I might want to do one. So I have a 10-mile run scheduled, registered, applied for in April. But I have a problem. I burnt a hole through my shoes. You know when you running so much and then anytime you put your foot in, you like create a small crater in your shoe, and then your feet just like swishing around with the sweat from your sweaty feet, and now you feel like every single step feels like you're gonna roll your ankle. Yeah, that's the type of vibe that I'm on. So I have to buy a new pair of shoes. Can y'all please buy me a new pair of shoes? Honestly, I blame myself because I don't even like running. It doesn't even feel good. I hate every step. Like it feels, every step feels like I'm battling against every villain I've ever walked up against. Because every time I be running and my lower back just starts like jiggy a little bit. And I have like plantar fasciitis. Is that a thing? Flat feet. I think that's what it is called. Yeah. But every single time anytime I run, my literal whole foot just like hits the ground and then it bounces back up and hits the ground again. So now that I run, I do this thing where as I'm going, I just try and like go somewhere else and just like forget that I'm running, because if I do anything other than that, I don't think I'm gonna make it. I'm not strong enough. I don't have the ability to. But as we're having this conversation about running, I saw this one race. It's in Italy. It's a marathon in Italy. And it's some of the biggest backest shit I've ever seen in my life. How could you a big back and run a marathon? Let me explain. So this marathon, you so you run in a costume. Okay, that's not too crazy. I can turkey trot it out. Yeah, that's calm. That's calm. But you're also drinking wine. That's wild. Eating oysters, foie gras. What the fuck is foie gras? What the fuck is? Hold on. Liver, fatty liver. Y'all are crazy. So you run in France, right? You're wearing a costume. You're drinking wine. You're eating oysters. You're eating fatty liver, cheese, steak, and ice cream all the way through the marathon. Through 26.3 miles, you are running and stuffing your backest face. What are we doing? This is the Marathon du Médoc. Why do we find a reason to destroy our body in every turn that we make? Because I feel like we've gotten to the point of greed. This isn't even America. We're got it to this greedy point. Honestly, if this is America, it'd probably be a bunch of Oh my God. I remember I saw a Taco Bell marathon where every single mile they'd try something new they'll try something new every single mile at Taco Bell. And the contestants did exactly what I would have done. Pooped my heart out. Eating liver? No. Pooping liver. Yeah. That cheesy greeny burrito would be out of me immediately. And honestly, as a lactose intolerant person, I would love to be a part of it. If y'all want to invite me over to, run a little bit in Italy, I would love to do it. I would love to run in France. But I will say I will be complaining that whole run. It will be it feels like a hilarious way to brag about how athletically lazy you are. Because if you have enough time to go run this marathon that you're not, honestly, I bet you would gain more weight at the end of the marathon than you would if you just didn't do the marathon at all. Because of eating ice cream while running multiple miles is insane. I don't know how you're not peeling over by halfway through the marathon, but that could just be me, because if I'm gonna drink, I'm gonna drink. But as you're running, how are you not just tipping over? Because I remember there was the Twin Cities marathon, and not Twin Cities one. There was a marathon recently where people, every single mile, they would either get a shot or they'll drink like some beer or something of that nature. And greedy, just greedy, but that's a whole other conversation. How are you not peeling over every single time? Because I get so nauseous when I run sometimes, especially once you get through like mile 4, 5, and 6. I'm like, okay, I'm getting very queasy. I'm very, very shaky. Let's figure out what we're going to do. But then once you get over that hill, you get to the runner's high, and then you're just like burning out the rest of the way. I like it. I can understand it. I feel it. But how about actively giving yourself oyster poisoning? Is that not enough? So here's how crazy it gets, right? They have 23 wine spots total, one every 2 kilometers after the first 5. So you hit a 5K and then you get rewarded. Let's think about it like that. Rewarded every 2 kilometers with, just a little pick me up, right? And then the costume is required. It is mandatory. You will be disqualified if you do not have one. What would I like to? So I remember I ran a 5K. And then there was this one guy. I don't remember. So there was one guy that was in not a Captain America, Captain Underpants costume, and he ran it. I was very upset that he beat me, but that's a whole nother conversation. But I would love to run in a dinosaur costume. If I was to run a marathon, a dinosaur costume would be top tier. Because of, have you ever... You know that brown dino that has like it's like inflatable, right? It would feel like running in a sauna. I think that would be my main pull of that whole run, because I feel like I would get to the point of being so delirious that I'll just like forget that I'm running, because that's what you really got to do when it gets to this running stuff. You have to mentally prepare yourself to not remember that you are running. Okay, so there is a 6.5 hour time limit, which sound oh my god, 6.5 hours to run this marathon. First of all, the fact that there's a limit to the fact that you are going to be running a marathon while uncontrollably drunk, please lock in. That sounds like a very, honestly, I'm glad that they have a cutout point, because I could definitely see myself wandering off the path and just being lost in France, just drinking shit. Oh my god. You'll see a foreign dude just running around in a dinosaur costume, trying to find their way back home because they had a quick memory of trying to find the closest McDonald's, because they still think that they're in America, and it cuts them out because they realize, wait a minute, everybody's just slightly skinnier than I remember. Okay, so there's also a local band that's at every station. So it's okay, I like that. It's a moving party. Everyone, as you're going, you could be cheering, hanging out with folks. Honestly, I wonder, because I'm thinking, how slow can you be going if you get 6.5 hours to complete 26 miles? Because is that a 20 minute pace? That would be my guess. What's 20? Hold on. Let's do the math. Let's do the math. Oh, I love doing these with y'all, because it's just fun. We just got all the time in the world. 26 divided by, let's say, every 20 minutes divided by 20. So 1.3. Wait, no, that's wrong math. 1.3. Wait, 20 minutes. Wait. Okay, I have a better way to do it. 6.5 times 60 minutes in an hour. Fuck. 6.5 times 60 minutes in an hour. You get 390 minutes is in how much time you get, right? And let's say you're running you're walking at a 20-minute pace. 19.5. Okay. Wow. Okay. Wow. 390 divided by, let's say you're going at a 19-minute pace. 20 miles. Wow. Okay. So you need to be completing about a quick jog. Okay. So like a very leisurely jog is the best case scenario, which honestly I could do. I could see me doing that. That seems very doable. But I will say, at least there's some medics at literally every single station, because you will need them. That's what I will say. Because honestly, I'm mostly worried about people that are like running and then they just like forget they're running and just like face plants. And that's one of my big fears, because like I don't really think that would be a problem that would be happening. But I went to a couple of like 5Ks and 10Ks, and I've seen like older folks, and when they're running, they just like they like legs just like give out and they just like fall to the ground or something of that nature. And it's like, yeah, that's very possible. That's a very possible thing, especially when you start adding in all these extra foods and drinks and things of that nature.